And now to the West Coast ports, where it's back to business, at least for now, as both sides adhere to the temporary agreement reached late last week. But for some small businesses that were impacted by that slowdown, the damage may already be done. Kate Rogers reports.
Business owner Paul Kramer exports animal feed and pet food to the Pacific Rim from his Paris, California-based Star Milling Company. He says he lost nearly $60,000 a week during the 9-month slowdown at the West Coast ports, but that's not even his biggest problem. What Kramer's most worried about is losing customers for good.
The biggest disruption that we have isn't necessarily the money on a week-to-week basis. It's the customers that we potentially lose because then they're out of business in the places that we send stuff to.
A potential deal between the Pacific Maritime Association and the International Longshore Warehouse Union won't bring back Kramer's losses. And he's not convinced the agreement will stick either.
It's great that they've come to a tentative agreement. What that means and where it'll end up in a week, I don't know.
Jeff Williamson, statewide director for the Center for International Trade Development, says the group represents nearly 1,000 small businesses across California who've been hit in varying ways by the port dispute. Williamson says the center's members have seen declines in their export businesses between 10 and 50% over the past 6 months due to the slowdown, and for some, that's business that's gone forever.
We are hearing that some companies are losing orders, and the impact of losing an order or a particular sale, it really depends on the situation. If it's a company that's trying to land a new retailer, let's say in Asia or another part of the world, and their initial shipment is delayed, that may not help them in the long run. They might have a lot of problems really securing that account for the long run.
A small trucking company, Iraheta Brothers, tells me they're being hit with fines daily from steamships for being unable to return shipping containers to the port due to the backlog. They've amassed $50,000 in fines in the past 6 months. And the West Coast Wine Group in Napa says more than time and money, they've lost trust with clients in Asia who don't quite grasp the ripple effects the port standoff has had on smaller exporters. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Kate Rogers.